Well, once again, you're being lied to. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to identify big, bold-faced lies. And they appear totally the opposite of what you would expect. This is kind of wild, but don't sue me, bro, because I'm about to expose nonsense. Now, I want to be clear. I really don't care if the housing market stays flat, keeps going up, or it crashes. Either way is fine for me. I personally don't care if Airbnb goes bust. I have no stake in Airbnb. I want to buy real estate cheaper. I would love to buy real estate cheaper, as I'm sure you would as well. So I just want to clear the bias here. I don't really care what happens. But what I do care about is when people and politicians draw conclusions based on false data. And that's not necessarily their fault. In other words, it's not necessarily your fault that you're being manipulated. But to be a more educated investor and individual in life, I encourage you to watch for at least the next few minutes to try to understand how you're being lied to. Let's go ahead and start with this post that just went viral. And when I first picked up on this post, it had like 5,000 likes. Now it's got 43,000 likes. It's over 8x'd, okay? So it's kicking butt. And this is fantastic. So what is the quote? Well, the quote here is from Amy Nixon. There are 3,329 homes for sale in Austin. There are 12,127 Airbnbs in Austin. Do you get it yet? And the implication here is, oh my gosh, how are there only 3,000 homes for sale, but there are 12,000 people renting out their homes on Airbnb? Airbnb is a bubble. Everybody's speculating, trying to get rich on Airbnb. And pause for a moment. That has been true and correct. People are being stupid, speculating on unprofitable flips or unprofitable Airbnbs, and I expect a lot of people are underwater because they wanted to become a landlord because it was fun after COVID, and now they're like, oh God, income is down 50%, honey. What shall we do? Well, let's make it a long-term rental. Oh, but honey, then we'll be upside down. Well, if you figure in the principal pay down, maybe it's not that bad. Oh, but honey, we got an interest-only loan. Who knows, right? So there's definitely a lot of speculating that needs to be sort of bubble popped, right? No doubt about that. And I'm not here to say that Airbnb is Jesus for your neighborhood. It is not the Holy Trinity coming in making everything better. I don't want Airbnbs around me. It pissed me off. So I don't blame it. It's sort of like a NIMBY thing. Like all of us are kind of like, oh man, I like Airbnb, but I don't really want to live next to an Airbnb. Okay, like we get it. We don't like Airbnb. We got that. But the implication is there's a big bubble burst coming and Airbnb is the cause of homelessness and housing unaffordability. And while it's true, people competing for homes does make homes more unaffordable, the easiest way to prevent people from speculating on investing in real estate is to build more homes. Because if you build more homes, you take away a homeowner's hedge. A homeowner's hedge is that if you buy real estate, our politicians are too stupid to be able to build more, and therefore you have a natural hedge. In other words, your stuff keeps getting more expensive, especially in desirable to live areas. Some people are like, oh, but it's not fair. You know, some things are unaffordable. Well, then you have to move. You know, people are like, oh, I can't live in Palo Alto anymore. It's unaffordable. Well, then you either have to make more money or you have to move. That's the way it works. That's the way capitalism works. Doesn't mean that's fair. It's just the way it works. So, like, I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just saying it's the way it works. So what's wrong with this post? Well, it's wrong. First, they suggest there are 3 times as many homes on Airbnb as there are in Austin. Well, let's go through their actual data. So they say the data sourced active listings from Zillow and then Inside Airbnb for data. So you go to Inside Airbnb and this is it. This is that crazy map that they show where it makes it look super saturated where all the homes are as Airbnbs. Keep in mind, these circles might be like 10 homes in each little circle, whereas this is each dot individual. So out of the gate, it's already a manipulated and skewed graph, right? So I put together my response. I wrote the following. Here's the problem with posts like this. They suggest there are 3.6 times as many Airbnbs available as homes for sale in Austin. Therefore, the implication is ban Airbnb, right? The Airbnb data site shows 12,127 or 14,694 if you include the rooms for rent. It's about a 17% difference. Doesn't make that much of a difference, okay? That part doesn't matter. So either way, you look at how many are available over the next 365 days. You have to read the fine print to be able to see this. Then, what they encourage you to do is check this box that brings you down to only recent and frequently booked. It's right here. Now all of a sudden the available listings drops to, this is an adjustment that they recommend to show what's probably actually a real Airbnb, okay? So all of a sudden you're already down to 5,248. If you do what the poster did and you only look at entire homes, it actually brings you down to 4,700, which is just gonna exacerbate this point. But let's stick with 5,248. Of the 3,329 homes for sale, we have to realize this is 11 weeks of inventory. So you have to multiply that out, annualize it, right? 52 divided by 11, and then multiply it out. What do you get? You actually end up getting 15,737 homes for sale over the years period. Again, understand that. If there are 3,329 homes for sale in an 11-week period, then you have to multiply the number by 4.7 because every 11 weeks you've got about that number of homes for sale. It's about 15,700, just so you could see the math. I know sometimes that helps me, so I figure it might help you as well. Okay, wait a minute. So if there are 15,700 homes for sale in a year period of time, and 5,200 are listed Airbnbs as having some availability and likely to be Airbnbs, that actually means there are 3 times as many homes for sale as there are Airbnbs on the market. I literally wrote that. Pause. That's the exact opposite of what the poster implied. Remember what the poster implied. They implied, oh my gosh, there are 3 to 4 times as many Airbnbs as there are homes for sale. And I wrote, no, if you look at the data, it's actually the exact opposite. But you have to read the fine print on this website, which of course most of us are not going to do. But that's the problem with Twitter. Remember, it would take you 20 seconds to read that Airbnb chart and that Twitter post and then like it and retweet it. Whereas this video is probably going to get a fraction of the attention, and that's okay, because my goal is just to provide valuable insights and perspectives to people who care about it, who want to get educated and learn and grow their wealth, and show you that this is wrong. And again, I'm not here to be some chariot for Airbnb or the housing market. I don't care. The whole point of this is usually when something is sensational and viral, there's a whole lot more than meets the eye. And in my opinion, don't sue me, bro, but it is my opinion that the poster is basically blatantly lying to you. Whether intentionally or not, they are misrepresenting data to make you feel a certain way. If I came to you and I said, hey, this year I expect there to be 3 times as many home sales in Dallas, Texas, or Austin, Texas, whatever it was, Austin it was, she's the Dallas-Fort Worth runner or whatever is her tag. But if I told you, hey, there are 3 times as many homes for sale than there are Airbnbs in the Austin area, would you care? No, of course not, because it's not a big deal. It's not sensational. It wouldn't get any likes or retweets. But again, that's how, I hate to use the word, misinformation spreads. But it's true. That is true misinformation. It is information that is wrong.